Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today I'm going to show you how to do some Edgar Allan Poe simple journals. They're very simple. You only need a few things to get your point across, and I'm going to show you how to do it, start to finish. Then first is the sneaky peek. And what I've got here, this was the next page from what I showed the day before, or the video before. This is just a doily that I have dyed up. It's got a little bit of blue on it. And this would have been a page probably I could have journaled on if I'd done that back then. So the next page is this. Now, if you remember the one I had way back here, it is a book page side tuck pocket. It's made out of book pages, and you pull it around. Um, you were supposed to be able to glue it all the way over here if you so chose. Then you had this that would be a tag inside all the way down, and you could have glued it to where this would have been an opening as well. Well, this one I did similar to what I'm describing. What's going on here? Okay. I think that's in the way. So I got a little further over, and I did make a side tuck on the outside with it. So I just had one of these old dividing cards from a index holder, a recipe holder, I believe it was. I stuck this little ribbon on it so you could have a little bit of pretty to look at. It goes with that green there so well. And then I have this tag that goes inside. And it's just made from scrap collage papers that were from here. And I have one of those little, what do they call those? A T card, I believe. I've got lovely here. All of this stuff was from a old paper pad I had, and I was trying to use it up. Well, and then that's it. And then I have this pretty piece of, what did they call that again? There's mulberry paper. That's it, mulberry paper. My brain's not doing too hot tonight. Okay, so let's put this in here. Oh, I got something good coming up. I think it's the next thing. Have to wait till the next video. All right, let me show you a couple of my books that I've gotten done. And then we're going to do one together. And actually, the one that we're doing together is going to be a little different. These I made in the style of the Halloween simple journals, where this piece is the closure. It'll actually fold up for you and out of the way when you're wanting to get in here and flip around. It's unhindered. Now these I did do a little bit of extra. I took and put about 5 little score marks in there. Like with the scoreboard, it was like every one of the little lines. So it would fold around. Okay, so these are basically the same. I do have a little bit of variation in them. These here are from Tim Holt Sizzix, the Silhouette Birds. And I wanted these so bad for a long time, and I finally got them. This little bird was the best one to fit on here. Plus, I've got a few of these, which are the, I don't think I have the name on this one, but it's at 664164. I like this daisy, the lily, and then this little piece. And I made one of those for each one in black. Other things that are used on here. This is stuff that Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy sent me. She sent me these blank labels. So what I did is I took one for each one for the front. I used the same Poe image, just a little bigger, that I used in the paper bag journals. But these are from the Graphics Fairy. And then there's a few images in here. I'll get to that on the inside, I guess, and show you. Here. This image that's in here came from Kara Brandon Creations. Then the papers that I have on the inside in here, and this, and the quotes, they came from Wonders by Wink on Etsy, Kyung Shotwell. That's my design team, mama. You're going to kill me, Kyung, when you hear that. Anyhow, up here on the front, I had, let's see if I got it. Okay. I had to take and put on my computer his name and I wanted to have the raven. And then I just went over with some ground espresso and I think some vintage photo to warm it up because it's sort of warm images on here a lot. And then I just kind of ripped it out and put it on there. And I thought it turned out pretty neat. Got the black flower because he's always doom and gloom, you know. And this, it's got a few quotes from other things he wrote, but it's it's not all that. It's mostly the Raven. I wanted it to be like this is him in here writing his story, and here's the visual from Kyung's kit, which is also called Edgar Allan Poe. Here's a big pocket. I cut out about four different shapes of these little birds, so you have the raven in here in a few places. And here is the first start of the story, The Raven. I guess it's a poem. So here's the first three, and then you get back to the back of the book, and you have the last three. And then you have the back pocket with another quote from Kyung's kit and another cutout. And this is from, I think, Kara Brandon. Yeah, that's the Kara Brandon creations. So, the idea of this was it's like Poe's, this is his little notebook and he's writing in it. So that's kind of what I wanted to make it. This is like about 28 pages I think you can write on. All of these are my pages that I've dyed. This was like rug gripper with some Rit dye sprinkled on. I had some from the gel icing colors. This is a tea dye, and this was pokeberry. If you know what a pokeberry plant is, this is the berries, and it made this beautiful, and I call it pokeberry pink. And I use those sparingly. I think I need to do some more before they're gone. This was just some more of that Rit dye, but I sprinkled a lot of coffee on it to make the splotches, more of the icing gel. Now this was another placemat from Walmart that gave me like a grid design. It was a woven. This is another light pink, another one of the Rit dye with another placemat. Can you see that? It's a cool look. And so that's basically what's in here. And then you'll have a quote in the very center with another bird. So that's how I did these. And then, yeah. And that's it. It's going to be an inexpensive journal. They're going to be able to do what they want to with it. Write what they want in it. Now this one is about the same. I did need to tell you about this. It's only a single signature. I went down and did the washi tape, and I used some more Kyung's papers behind here, so it all had a uniform look. I did do the signature a little different. It's not a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, it's only 2. So all you got to do is go in there and knock out 2 holes, and you sew it in. Now I did have this little tag I put here, and then you got the back page. So let us get to working on one of these. These old papers here that are like a iron working kind of thing, I thought, oh, that's perfect for this. So that's what we're going to start with. Now here is the items to decorate with, so we're going to set these to the side. Now this idea for how the closure is going to work came to me the other night. You know how they usually come. We're going to be working, there's the last piece of that iron working kind of paper that I got from my friend long ago. This piece and this piece are from Dark Academia from Michaels. It's one of their recollections books, and I thought I would use this for my idea with the closure. So that's going over here for right now. And we're going to prepare this one just like we do the other ones. You've got your 12 by 12. It's a one-shot wonder, or one-page wonder. You're going to be going down the center at 6 inches, so it makes it totally in half. Then you're going up 3 inches, whatever you want your bottom to be. And like I might choose this for my bottom because that's a little higher up. So you go across at 3 inches with the score, and I will be back after that. Okay, now what I've got here is my 6 inch score going down the center and my 3-inch score and going up from the top. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the score line out. And I want to step in and say thank you to all my subscribers and my viewers for coming to visit. And I hope I give you another idea today. I'm always trying to find a new idea for you. Something that's not seen out there. Something that might be a little different. I try to make stuff that might be easier to make. I know I do convoluted stuff quite often. But this one today is pretty easy. Okay. Now, what it is our inside. Now, this paper was from the Paper Loft, and I don't know if you want to try to find it to reorder it, but there you go. There's a number. All right, and I cut these 2 papers down, and they're going to go on either side in here. But first, what we're going to do is go down our center with some art glitter glue, and do a piece of washi. I always like to do that to strengthen. Now, sometimes I'll go on the outside. If I don't do the washi inside, I'll go outside and do lace. And that's another way of giving yourself extra strength in your spine where it's going to be bent a lot. And then I use one of these to just kind of rip it. Okay. And that should be all I need to use for that. Sometimes you might want to go back over it. Make sure you trimmed it off. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and fold it. So we've got our fold right. Sometimes you don't score just right, you know. And I think mine wasn't. But you want to fix this. And then you want to go in here and fold these up as well, and make sure that you have gone out of the spine, because sometimes you need to go back in here and trim or come at another bit of an angle just so you're not in your spine, and that's going to help you have a nice bendable book. Like this one looks like it's close, but I think I'm okay, because if you can close it, you're good. So you're good. Yeah, that piece didn't score quite right. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go back in here and fold these back down. And we're going to work on this special closure I've got. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go in here. I've got my little, you can get a marker of any type. This is a alcohol marker. But I want to go in here and do at least this side. The other sides I'm going to be able to catch, but this inside I'm not. So I'm going to put a little bit of black on there to get the white off. Get that out of the way. Now, this idea I have not tried yet, so it is brand new. I don't think I'm doing thumb pulls. I don't know that I need them, but I'm going to go and glue it here, here, and here. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm trying to get as close as you can. And, try not to be too wiggly, like I usually am. Yeah, me and Zach, we're trying to get together to do a little bit more working on our cemetery book. I think we're going to try to do it this evening for a couple hours. He had an appointment today, and he works at a hospital and stuff like that, so I'm free mostly with my time. But he's kind of jammed up. My only thing is Mom. I got to take her to the doctor's usually. Now, make sure that you're able to fold this up and that your page is not too long. You can always trim it down. I'm wondering if, yeah, I think I should have put my ink a little bit, not ink, my glue a little bit further down on this part. So let me get back in there. Will it open? Maybe I already glued it. Okay, right here. We're just going to get in here and do it just a little further in, because I didn't think about that. I left this longer just in case. You never know. And then you're going to cut that off. Oops. I'm telling you, that's... I don't think I'm going to get a chance to go out there and clean that pond out. The way this weather is, it's unbelievable. It's been so... It's like a misty rain today, and it's been so cold. He actually has already started us a little fire in the basement, and our mama... It's like a... What do you call those? A mama bear. That's it. It's one of those mama bear stoves. Ooh, that thing keeps us toasty. We actually do our laundry in the winter and hang it up in the basement, and it dries everything. All right, let me get back in there. There we go. And then I'm going to rub this down just to burnish it in. There we go. So that part's done. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to put a thumb pull here. Let me go here and reach for one. And we'll just go for this one. It's a smaller one, but that's all right. And we're just going down there a little bit. That's just so they know it's a pocket. So some do and some don't. So you always want to make it look like it is, or to give them direction. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this on the white core. That is bound to show. Try not to have that so close up so it doesn't blur you out. But you're going to go all the way around now. Did I get it? Sometimes you might have to rock it one direction or the other to get it to go completely. And oop, I gotta trim that one. Dummy me. All right, let me get this side. Okay. Ooh. I'm trying not to write on it. You got to be really careful, though. I don't think I had any on this one. Got some on this one. And let me trim this top real quick, and then I can do that one. Yeah, this way. I don't know what direction I'm going in tonight, do I? All right. Now, we got this, and then our cover is done. Now we got to do is decorate. Okay. There is that. Now let's see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my 4 strips here. That's going to glue up in my pockets. Okay. And then I think that's all I'm going to need to glue at the moment until I get around to the front. So let's rock this down really good. Sometimes it doesn't like to go against that washi, so you want to rub it really good. All right. I really like this one with the big old grommets in it, or bolts, or whatever those things are. All right. Now if you wanted, you can always round the corners. I've rounded them on some, but I'm trying to keep it to look like it's like a book, like he's writing in. So we're going to start on our decorations now, and get all of our goodies over here. And what we're going to do, those are going inside. We have this for the front, this for the front, and I inked around the outside edges on these just so they wouldn't be, you know, showing the white, though this is just regular copy paper. because I like to do a lot of stuff with copy paper if I'm putting it down on a surface. So we're just going to throw a glue on here. It does make it a little floppier. Okay. Ooh, I'll tell you, I don't know if I told you this in the last video, but I did some good sales over the weekend. I can't believe it. I gotta go down there tomorrow when I take Mom to the doctor, and maybe I'll stop by the shop and see what's sold. I'm kind of curious. And then I'll do this on the back. I'm not sure what Tommy had printed these on when she sent them to me. Maybe just some spare papers. Okay, and then that will go here. I'm trying to stay right below his frame opening. All right, now what we need to do is get in here and rip one of these out. The other one's for the, I'm going to actually save the last one for the book, because I've got a Poe book big journal that I'm going to be making as well. So that's what that is for. And I think what I did is I tried to rip as close as I could to the edges, kind of like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut right across the top of his name to make it fit. Because I learned before it did not fit when I left all the ripped edges. Yep, Zach and I, we got to write us up a little story for our cemetery page to let them know what we're going to get into this trip. They always love to read what we're going to do, where we're going to visit, that kind of thing. they love to see what we're going to do. I don't understand it. So anyhow, we're going to write that up, figure out which courthouses. I think we got 4 or 5 courthouses. Oh, well, it's probably 4, if that. I know it's going to be Mingo. Well, I'll back that off to 3. So it's Mingo County, Wayne County, and Martin County, because we go over to Kentucky as well. See, like the way my grandparents did it, they went all the way up. They lived in Wayne County at the very lowest tip, but they had to go all the way up to the county seat, Wayne County, or Wayne, to get married. And I guess they went up there and nobody was there to marry them, or something happened that they just didn't get married that day. And the very next day, they went over to Martin County, Kentucky, and got married. So that's the way they usually would work it over there. It's just so much closer to just go across the river and find a minister to marry you, and then they would take that information to the courthouse and record it. I mean, you had things called circuit rider ministers over there as well. Now that's where somebody would ride a horse and they would go house to house in some cases and stay with somebody, and they would preach in the neighborhood that day, or they would preach to that family. It just depended. If you needed to get married, you could get married that day. It's kind of like that. All right, our cover's done. See how simple it is? Got an image. I've got like a, what do you call it? Like a label. Got that. I got a couple of die cuts. And then these are going to go on the inside. We're going to go and start with a couple of these quotes. And this one is about El Dorado. So I just took her page of quotes, and she had 9 of them. And that's where it's going to be about all the different ones. I couldn't find the one that was for the raven, but, you know, you might want to read a few of his other goodies that he wrote about. So we're going to put this one here. Get that excess off. And then this little bird is going to go up in here. On there. And it's the raven. So I figured I would dress up this front cover with a few ravens so it would go along with the story that starts the next page. All right, then we're going to go up here with this one and rub that down. Then we're going to take our other pieces here and glue them down. This one's got all those little nibby knobs on it. All these flowers are kind of a pain, but they really do a lot for your overall. And if you just do silhouette flowers like these and not have to worry about colors, sometimes the colors are pretty. You don't really have to go into detail with them. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up. And we're going to tuck that under there. And we'll kind of go up beside this raven to fill in the image, the story. Maybe that's it. We're filling in the story. Now, I always think of lilies for funerals. So that's why we're going with a lily. If you wondered why I picked those flowers. The daisy one, I didn't have a rose. So I picked the daisy, the sideways daisy. The other one was too cheery. It looks like a sunflower to me anyhow. Unless you paint it. Do watercolors on it. Okay. I'm going to pick that up. And we're going to kind of coax it out just a little further. Yet looking like it came from the same area. Alright, now I'm going to take and put another one of these on the back. And that's all we're going to do. We're just going to decorate it up with a few little items. Yeah, I love the way Kyung did these quotes where she has that beautiful little border on it. Okay, we're going to put that one down in here. So I can see my little rivets. Yeah, see that little border? And I did ink a little bit of ground espresso around it, so that really set that off. And we have a birdie. Where's that birdie? I think I put that birdie on the front, or this page or something. Yeah. I was trying to remember what I did with him. He's supposed to be a raven, but who knows what he is. Okay. There we are. And I'm going to stick him right here. So he's looking down at that rivet. Okay. And then the back page, what do I have? I got this one for the inside. And I think this one goes in the back. Let's try to remember how I did the other ones. Well, I don't know how much more Halloween I'm going to do besides the things that I have set aside. Those books, you know, I'm working on the journals. Oh, I need to really get them done. So there might be some massive video taken here in the next next week or so. Because I got to get some of this stuff done for my trip. All right. So here is the papers that I got to go inside. I've got them all stacked up. I do have to put my little birdie in here. Let's go ahead and do that. The quote and the bird. And have that all done. Then I'll show you how easy it is to do the signature. I know you hear people talk about the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And then there's a Is it 3-hole pamphlet stitch? Yeah, yeah. And then there's one that's a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. But this one is a 2-hole. So it's going to be so much easier for you. And I thought it looked more original. Like, you know, what they would have maybe back in the 1800s to tie your notepad together or whatever you've got. I almost cut out some feathers, but I thought, no, I'll just go with what I got. Okay. This one is a tablecloth that they have there at Walmart. And I don't know if they still have this one, but it's really neat because people would take it and they would cross stitch with it because it had all these little tiny, tiny holes. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do this signature. You want to make sure all these pages are basically the same size. So that's all I want to do is make sure they're in the dead center where I got a little bit of room at the top and bottom. I'm going to pull them around like that. Then we're going to get these big paper clips out and we're going to go and secure our pages. Now you keep your finger in here where the where all the papers go to the spine, and you push and you make sure they stay down, and then you do the opposite. Now see, I've got those two done. Now I'm going to do this side, and then we're going to go up here, push that back in, and do this side. And that's all you got to do. I got these, I think, at Hobby Lobby. I know there's some gold or silver ones up there on those 4-ways. It's near the front. There's a stationary one there. And that's where I got some of them, I believe. Okay, now what we're going to do, I've got my thread and my needle over here all ready to go. That's some hemp that I had. And you just have to push inward. Where's my needle? And then I've got my pokey tool. And I'm just going to go in here and go up about an inch, maybe 1.25 inches, and wiggle me a hole. And I'm going to do the same down here. Go in, wiggle me a hole. Now, and this is just some foam that was inside of a crate, and I saved it. It works great. Now for this one, since I've only got the 2 holes, we're going in from the outside in. And you pull it through. Oops. And then you go in your other hole and come out. There we go. And I'm going to pull the needle off. Now all you have to do, or the way I do it, I push it down flat. Make sure I've got about the same amount. And then I'm going to tie it. Just in like a triple knot. Now I tie it first. Then I get this one finger in here and hold that down where it's nice and tight. Then I take my extra fingers and I'll pull that around for another knot. And then I'll pull it a little tighter before I go for the last run. There. Okay. Although I think that might have been a little looser, but I think we're good. And I'll do my 3rd knot, and then I'll just cut it off with a little bit to spare. All right. I think she's done. I think that works. Then you just take out. Now be careful, the ones that are on your front cover, especially if you've decorated it already, you don't want to pull any of your goodies off. Okay, so all these are done. Now, wait a minute, I've got 2 more goodies here to decorate with. I forgot all about them. Those are going to go on the inside. Hang on just a minute. And I like this back side too. It's like a little script paper. Okay. There we are. Now this piece I'm going to put on the last page of the story because there's a little bit of room here. And it kind of looks like it looks like a lamp or a candle flame to me, but it's not. It just looks that way. And my last thing to do here is just to get in here and cut my piece for my closure. My secret closure. All right, that's going on the back page right here. There we go. That is decorated. Now, let me do this special closure with that paper that I've got here. And we're going to figure out where to go with it. So I'm going to measure. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to measure up because I'm not going to be able to get it from top to bottom, which is 9 inches. We're going to try to go about like there with it. I'm up about that far to clear the glue, and there. And then I think we're going to, maybe we'll just go over about yay big. This is not a very thick journal, so we're just going to go over about that far. And I'm going to cut it off, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my my piece, and it's of 4 3. I think it's 4 3/4 and 8 3/8. And I went ahead and put me a 1/2 inch score right down the center. Now I am going to get in here and round the corners. And if you want it to be doomy and gloomy, you can get in here and also ink your edges to go with the theme. And I'm just doing like mainly the edge here. I mean, this is another piece you could go ahead and write on if you wanted to. All right, now the idea, let's go ahead and bend it this way and bend it that way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put it in the back, and then we're going to put it in the front. Now, I don't know how feasible this is. This has never been tried before. And it's like my tunnel closure. That's where I got the idea. But I thought it would look like you almost had a two-spined book. So, what do you think? Do you like that? It's a little different. I mean, it could be expanded. You can cut a bigger piece if you needed to make it bigger. If I didn't think it was going to work, I can always go and put that other type of a closure in I did with the other two. These two. But I kind of liked it. And you also have this secret little spot down in here to hide something. Like you could put something with a tab on it and be able to pull it out. And that kind of thing. So it gave you an extra pocket. A really large pocket for an envelope or something. Okay, well, I hope you liked all of those Poe Simple Journals. And they'll be going to the shop tomorrow. All right, thank you very much. And everybody have a great, great day. Bye-bye.